The Rock is not an actor. Acting has the prerequisite of pretending to be a character. The Rock is The Rock. But before we get into it, good morning class. I'm Mr. Third Person, your substitute for the day. I just grabbed my titty. I make freeform video essays where I talk about whatever is just on my mind, and I don't really have many notes. I just improv most of this, just like substitute teachers would do back when I was in school. So I hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe if you like, and subscribe. Do what you gotta do. The only difference between The Rock in real life and The Rock in movies, he turns up the serious meter a little bit. He's a little more serious, a little less wacky goofy. In real life, well, I don't know the dude personally, but in like interviews and stuff, he's a little more wacky goofy, haha, making jokes. Kevin Hart's a little puny guy type of stuff, right? And in movies, he's less haha and more serious, stern, right? He got rid of the whole eyebrow thing, which is something I learned at the time because I saw him doing it. As time went on, he's gotten bigger and bigger and played more and more movies. And at some point you recognize, and this has been, people have brought this up constantly, but I've been thinking about this for years. At some point you recognize a pattern. You're watching a movie of The Rock, right? You've watched the first movie and you're like, okay, this is a good movie, cool. It's action-packed, fun, explosions, The Rock's doing cool stuff. And then the next movie you watch it and you're like, oh, this is action-packed, stuff's exploding, The Rock's doing cool stuff. You watch the third movie, you're like, oh, The Rock is doing action-packed stuff. That's kind of unrealistic. Does he have superpowers in it? No superpower. He doesn't have any superpowers in this one. No. Oh, I noticed the ridiculousness of it while watching, was it Fast and Furious 6, I believe? Because Fast 5 is one of the best movies ever of any series. The Rock is in that and he does the Rock thing. He does the Rock stuff. And then Fast 6 came out a few years later. There's a scene where the Rock, he falls out of like a 20-story building. He lands on a car while holding a woman to protect her. He lands with his back on a car. The next scene, he's in a hospital with casts on. Now, I don't know if you've ever broken a bone in your body. I haven't, thank God, but I've known people who have. To remove a cast, they need a saw to cut through the cast and peel it off. He sees that there's like shit going on outside, so he gets up out of bed. He has a cast on his arm and he flexes. This dude flexed and the cast breaks. Then the next scene, he's outside running around fighting and stuff and picks up a minigun that was on a helicopter that just fell out of the sky, and he's shooting it with no issues. Now, mind you, he has no superpowers in this movie. He's just a guy. He's just a guy who works for some secret service, FBI, Central Intelligence, I don't remember. But he's just a dude who's super strong. And even in real life, just dudes who are super strong can't break the cast with a flex, and they probably couldn't pick up a minigun right after doing so. That just couldn't happen. And then it gets even more ridiculous when we look at Hobbs and Shaw. Fast and Furious in general obviously is ridiculous, but in Hobbs and Shaw, The Rock literally does something that Captain America does in one of the MCU movies. Captain America in one of the MCU movies, he holds a helicopter, and it's like a cool scene. He's holding the helicopter and not letting it go. But in Hobbs and Shaw, The Rock holds a chain that's attached to a helicopter and is pulling it while driving on a truck. Dude, what? He's a guy. There's no super soldier serum. He's not Black Adaming. None of that. He's just a dude. The Rock plays his action-packed, crazy stuntman in these movies while just being a guy. And it's been like that for maybe the past 20 movies. The only movie recently where The Rock's character was a little different, he still did the same stuff, but where his character as a persona was a little different, was Black Adam. And if you think about it, if you've seen Black Adam, once I say this, you'll know exactly what I mean. Black Adam is The Rock, but Terminator. He's just the Terminator. He has no emotions, no feelings. He doesn't get what the hell's going on. He's just walking around, walking through walls and stuff. And it was hilarious. It was really funny. I actually really enjoyed Black Adam, but that was still just The Rock. He took the wacky goofy completely away. He was just serious and a little naive, right? Every other movie is just The Rock. Now, I've seen a lot of The Rock movies. I haven't seen all of them. I'll admit that. The Rock movie where he actually plays something a little different and does a good job at it is in Be Cool. Be Cool came out forever ago. But let me look at the release date real quick. 2005. Old movie. Be Cool is a movie, came out in 2005. It's got Vince Vaughn, Cedric the Entertainer, Stat Cast, Andre 3000 is in it. John Travolta's in it as well. But The Rock is in it. I think it was one of his first movies, like in Hollywood. He plays a closeted homosexual bodyguard who wants to be an actor. He plays that role so well. He does such a good job playing that role. It's hilarious. And he even does the eyebrow thing.
And I see a guy like you and I say, he's got the look, but does he have the talent?
Watch this. Like, they mock the eyebrow thing within the movie, making fun of that, not like, you know, just making fun of the persona of The Rock. And this is also part of a bigger discussion. A bigger discussion has risen over the past few years about who is the best wrestler actor. A lot of people still believe it's The Rock for the same reason I don't even know how the dancing raisins, I forgot what they're called, but they dance. People believe The Rock is the best wrestler turned actor for the same reasons why they believe Drake is the best hip hop rap artist, because he does a lot and they're always successful. Doesn't mean they're good. It doesn't mean they're good at their craft. That just means that they have a bigger audience, better marketing, because when the Rock movie comes out, you see it everywhere. You can't get enough of it. The Rock markets insanely well. His marketing, because that's what he is. The Rock is marketing. You can make the argument that if you're a master at one, you're still a master, which sure, but when it comes to acting as The Rock, he's the best. When it comes to acting, nah. When I look at this, I'm looking at variety. How many different roles do they play and how well can they play them? The Rock is in third place. There are two above him. In second place is John Cena. John Cena has played in not a lot of roles, but enough to where he has more variety in his roles than The Rock has ever had in any of his roles. Now you can say he also just plays like the dumb naive. He plays a dumb naive version of The Rock, pretty much in most movies, because John Cena playing Peacemaker in Suicide Squad and the Peacemaker show.
I didn't mean to put your father in prison.
Then why'd you put him there, you fat fuck?
Because I couldn't think of anybody else.
What about Ariana Grande or Drake?
What?
Was really good. He's really funny in that. He was also in that movie with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
I got ketamine, meth, MDMA, bromo dragonfly, heroin, coke, shit to make your dick hard, shit to make your dick soft, shit'll find your dick. I got some ibuprofen, aspirin. I got Flintstone gummies if you want.
Let me look up some of the other John Cena movies, because actually I'm not too well versed in John Cena movies. Bro, he's been in a lot of stuff. Why the fuck was he in the Fred movie? Whatever. Range. John Cena has more range. Even though he's had less stuff, he's had and shown more range. Now he's, like I said, he's still just playing variations of the Rock characters, but he does a much better job at it, in my opinion. The number one best wrestler turned actor is Dave Batista. Dave Batista is the best wrestler turned actor because not only is he a very good wrestler turned actor, he's just a good actor, period. If you look at the range and the variety of roles that he's played, he played Drax, which was a dumb, bumbling buffoon with no emotions. You don't know how hard it is to act like you have no emotions for most people. He played the clerk in that one hotel movie who was just smooth as hell. He played another bumbling buffoon, idiot, meathead type of character in Glass Onion.
Will you shut it? We've been over this a million times. I told you when me and Whiskey are alive, you gotta let us do.
Keep my wife's name.
Then he played, let me look it up. My brain isn't braining at the moment. He was in Dune, played like this badass soldier type of character. He was in Blade Runner, Army of Thieves, Escape Plan. He was in a lot of stuff. Oh my God. House of the Rising Sun. Alone that he was, that's a German saying, but not an English one. Alleine daran, dass in diesen Film Mann. Alone the fact that he was in these movies shows enough. Dave Batista showed insane range, and it's always different characters. Not always. A lot of times he plays the same buff soldier type of guy. Also variations of The Rock. If you have a certain muscle mass, then you automatically fall into that Sheena, that lane of actor. We had two German words today. Well, one was a saying, the other one was a word. He's proven himself to be an amazing actor and a worthy actor on several occasions. If you look at The Rock's movies, if you connect Fast 6 to G.I. Joe to Skyscraper, whatever that's supposed to be, to San Andreas to Rampage, and then Jumanji, it would be a coherent story. It would make sense. That shouldn't be a thing. He said, no, that shouldn't be a thing. Just I forgot something. Cause it fits so tight. Ass silhouette on the disco light. Call you babe. And I don't mean to San Francisco type. But yeah, no, you could have one coherent 20-hour film if you just cut together all of the Rock movies. And that, for me, a sign enough that he is not a good actor. He just does what he does over and over and over. And I think that's obvious. Dave Batista, on the other hand, variety, range. If you haven't seen Dave Batista movies, I'd suggest you watch them, even in side roles. That's another thing. The Rock does not play in side roles. But I mentioned Be Cool. That was probably the only side role he's ever played in. Even when it came to Fast and Furious, where he was supposed to be a side role, he was like, I'm either one of the main roles, I become a mainer role, or I'm not part of the movie, which caused a giant stress apparently within the cast of the movie. Tyrese, I think, didn't want to do the movies anymore because of The Rock, and I've heard that The Rock has some sort of main character clause or whatever, where he's only allowed to play main characters. He's not allowed to be a side character. But other than that, dude, as I said, they're all the same movies. Black Adam was all right. I actually enjoyed Black Adam, not because of that Rock's acting capabilities, but because the character was written well. And this is something a lot of people confuse as well. Just because a character is written well does not mean that the actor is good. That just may mean that the character is good. Because Dave Batista, not only are the characters written well, but he portrays them well. Because if you have somebody who isn't meant to play a certain character, like let's say that The Rock would play Batman. Imagine The Rock playing Batman. It wouldn't work. Batman is an extremely well-written character. You could not have The Rock play him, or anybody any character out of Batman. Imagine The Rock playing the Joker. I can't at all. Now, Dave Batista, I couldn't necessarily imagine him playing the Joker, but I could imagine him playing a variation of the Joker and doing a decent job. If he like slipped down maybe a little bit. I mean, well, no, I mean, Ben Affleck played like a buff Batman as well. I'm pretty sure there's a buff Joker. Dude, imagine if Dave Batista played the Arkham Asylum Joker with the horrible boss fight. That would be cool as hell. Dave Batista in general, I think Dave Batista could be like, he'd be a good Bane. Dave Batista would be a really good Bane. The Rock couldn't play the Bane. The Bane. That was what he would call it. Like they would rewrite Bane's character to be the Bane. Other than that, wasn't there one other actor who played in The Crow? Wasn't The Crow also a wrestler actor? Okay, no, I was completely wrong about that. I don't know who this guy is. Brandon Lee? He looks like Heath Ledger before Heath Ledger was Heath Ledger. Oh, can't lie. The Rock is not in third place. He's in fourth. You know who comes ahead of The Rock? Randy Savage. How long have I been recording for? Damn, 22 minutes? Oh, well, 3 or 4 of those minutes was me just fucking around in the background. I guess that's it for me for today. If you believe that The Rock is the best actor, let me know why in the comments. If you can give a reasonable argument to it, you may be able to change my mind. If you also agree with me that Dave Batista is the best, you can also say that. I've also just been thinking about this topic for a long time. Just write it down in the comments, talk about it, start a conversation. I'll be in the comments also partaking in the conversation. If you can change my mind or if you want to support my mind, whatever you want, go ahead and do that. I don't like outros. Little cross kiss go popping in the light, sure. Those is so tight, right? Dude, I had my brother one time. I was playing Mick Jenkins. It was during lockdown. We were riding our bikes around in the parks, and I was playing Mick Jenkins off of like a Bluetooth speaker. And my brother goes, "Oh, is that one of your new songs?" And I was like, "No, but thank you." Like that was such a compliment.